There goes the green flag, race one gets underway, and it's Paul Marlow that sees the green first in car number 183 and leads them down to the West Bend for the first time. White top in trouble already, 275 Paul Farrer has to lean hard on 377 Michael Storey. It gives Michael an early visit to the West Bend Arco. That also caused a problem for 393 Michael Smith, but they're all away and racing once again. Bumpers going in amongst the superstars with 33 Peter Pauling trying to shift 515 Junior Wayman right out of the way. Doesn't succeed on the West Bend, he may well try again as they circulate around the East Bend. Still 183 Paul Marlow leads, with the gap could be about to change around the East Bend. 200 Owen Brown dives through. 92 George Braithwaite currently in third place, and 242 David Nichols is fourth. Phil Rogers 116 pays a visit to the East Bend Arco, but gets racing again. Well, their bumpers crash as 378 Wayne Hanley gets hooked up behind the 116 car. George Braithwaite 92 battling for the lead with 200 Owen Brown. Nigel Wharton 422 pays a visit to the West Bend Arco. Looks like he may have well gone in quite hard. 200 Owen Brown still leads, fending off the attentions of 92 George Braithwaite. 183 Paul Marlow now back in third, and still in fourth is 242 David Nichols. The yellow top 131 Richard Thornton is fifth, and 464 Jamie Davison is sixth. Top six virtually all together around the East Bend. Got two retirements on the infield, 377 Michael Storey, 393 Michael Smith, and meanwhile Owen Brown just wide in car number 200, but George Braithwaite still can't get through in 92. A tangle between 307 Tim Warwick and 242 David Nichols on the exit of the West Bend, but they're both racing again, although they've lost places. And here on the home straight it's still the Mount Sorrel base 200 Owen Brown that leads race one for the BriSCA Formula 1s. 92 George Braithwaite still close behind, but he's doing nothing to influence the lead position. Loads of cars going in together to the West Bend, and it's all happening up there. 307 Tim Warwick climbs right aboard. 217 Ron Crooner and 53 John Lunn. 203 Dan Clark also involved, and looks like 73 Rob Cowley's in there as well, and 242 David Nichols. All sorts of mayhem on the West Bend, and Stephen Cooper goes in hard in 2-2 Ron, right into the back of 217 Ron Crooner. And a real big pile-up up there on the West Bend at the halfway stage next time around of Heat 1. And it's still Owen Brown that leads it 200, and we're going to have to go yellow with the pile-up up there on the West Bend. 92 George Braithwaite still close behind, but he's doing nothing to influence the lead. Dan Clark also involved, and looks like 73 Rob Cowley's in there as well. Okay, there we go with the restart. Head off down to the West Bend. David Tilson goes in very hard in car number 86 and shoves 131 Richard Thornton and 464 Jamie Davison out towards the Armco. And Tilson can well take the lead now around the East Bend, which he does as Owen Brown 200 pulls wide with Richard Thornton trying to get through into second, although Jamie Davison's bumpering the 131 car out of the way. And those two together as they come on the home straight now towards the West Bend. George Braithwaite hits Jane Bean very hard into the West Bend, and Owen Brown comes off worst on the front end of Jane Bean, and then George Braithwaite goes through the water splash. So he's lost ground, but he certainly gave Jane Bean a hard time there as she went through into the West Bend. And it's David Tilton that leads in 86 with 464 Jamie Davison in second, and 309 Jane Bean third. 131 Richard Thornton is driving the tarmac like you would drive shale around the West Bend there, holding on to his fourth place, and there are 5 laps to run for our race leader, and that's 86 David Tilton here on the home straight. Cars well spread around the raceway now with 515 and Junior Wayman moving in for the kill on 92 George Braithwaite. Braithwaite's currently in fifth, and he's drifting wide and straight into the dead car of 275 Paul Farrer. And that puts Frankie Wayman Jr. 515 through into fifth with Nigel Wharton 422 right with him. George Braithwaite rejoins right in front of 116 Phil Rogers up there on the West Bend. The leaders come through untroubled though. 86 David Tilson in that first spot with 464 Jamie Davison second. 131 Richard Thornton's gone on the West Bend into that dead car off 275 Paul Farrer once again. And here's David Tilson with 3 to run in car number 86, but Jamie Davison's closing him down in 464. Almost gets close enough to use the bumper that time and drifts wide and lose ground as they come onto the back straight. Puts Paul Bullock 15 a lap down, and now it's Glyndaf that are looking at car number 96, and David Tilson moves through on the inside. 2 laps to run now for car number 86. 464 Jamie Davison still very close indeed. 309 Jamie not far behind in that third place, with 515 Junior Wayman in fourth, and 422 Nigel Wharton fifth. And 159 John Sage could well be spun out by 183 Paul Marler on the exit of the East Bend, but he holds it. Just 1 lap to run now for 86 David Tilson. 464 Jamie Davison very close indeed, closes right in as they go into the West Bend, and surely he's close enough down the back straight to use the bumper as they go towards the East Bend for the last time. David Tilson bumpers the back marker out of the way. Jamie Davison comes in with a big one, but Tilson holds it, got the brakes full on him. He's going to come out and win Heat 1 for the Formula 1s. David Tilson wins it with Jamie Davison second in 464, 309 Jamie in third, and 515 Junior Wayman in fourth. Red flags go out on Heat 1, and David Tilson 86 really had to work for that victory. Jamie Davison never far behind. Tilson took his opportunity on the restart, bumping Davison right out of the way, and Davison tried to do the same as they went round the East Bend for the last time, but David Tilson locked up and held on to take an impressive win in Heat 1. Over there on the back straight. Congratulations, David Tilson, the driver of car number 86. There goes the green flag on race 2 for the BriSCA Formula 1 stock cars. Once again, it's Paul Marler that heads them away into the West Bend, with David Nichols applying the pressure in 242. And indeed, David Nichols goes through to lead race 2 down the back straight. Bumpers going in amongst the red tops as they try and sort each other out, with David Tilson losing out in 86 to 515 Junior Wayman and 422 Nigel Wharton. Still 242 David Nichols that leads around the West Bend. 183 Paul Marler in second, 15 Paul Bullock third. And a battle for fourth with 131 Richard Thornton just moving past 393 Michael Smith. Race 1 winner David Tilson off to a very slow start indeed as the bumpers hammer in amongst the reds. 515 Junior Wayman shoves Dan Clark 203 wide, and Dan Clark cuts in front of 422 Nigel Wharton. And Clark's coming back at Wayman into the West Bend, and Wayman has to take a slightly wide line to avoid the bumper treatment from 203 Dan Clark. And Clark's still with him down the back straight and almost gets to the 515 car as they go around the East Bend. Junior Wayman pulls away now in 515, so Danny Clark lost his chance in 203. Richard Thornton goes head on in 131 into the West Bend Armco. 393 Michael Smith delayed as a result of that. Still 242 David Nichols is driving very well to lead race 2, but he could be about to lose out to 464 Jamie Davison, although it makes life difficult for Davison. Davison really had to work to get past the 242 car of David Nichols then, and David Nichols still blocking 183 Paul Marler. And it's 464 Jamie Davison that's now pulling away at the front of the pack with 242. David Nichols still battling hard for that second place and holding it at the moment. As 515 Junior Wayman comes into play, and David Nichols trying to hold him back as well. And indeed, David Nichols really having the race of his life holding these red top back. He delayed Danny Clark 203 that time, but eventually they all forced their way past. And it's 464 Jamie Davison that leads from 515 Junior Wayman in second, and 309 Jane Bean third. 422 Nigel Wharton is fourth, and 203 Danny Clark in fifth. We've lost Paul Farrow over on the back straight in car number 275. And it will be the halfway stage next time around of BriSCA Formula 1 Stock Cars Race 2, with Jamie Davison at the head of the pack in 464. Junior Wayman at 515 second. Nigel Wharton 422 is coming in hard on Jane Bean. 309 is going to the West Bend, and that puts Richard Thornton into the Armco in 131. Jane Bean had no option in 309 but to clobber into the back of Richard Thornton 131, and now 242. David Nichols has gone in hard in the back of the 131 car, and the yellow flags are coming out on race 2. With the Richard Thornton cause for concern up there in the 131 car. He certainly went into the Armco very hard indeed.
The lead car is 464 coming to you now, Bill. Well done, Martin.
It's Brian over there.
Yes, Dr. Brian, Brian, can you see on the patient, please?
Get over there, Brian. He could be dying. There's nothing wrong with him till Brian came on the scene. And the green flags go back out on race 2 for the BriSCA Formula 1 stock cars. Look at those bumpers going in as we head towards the West Bend, and Junior Wayman suffers in 515 as Nigel Wharton goes through in 422, and that drops Wayman back to 3rd with Danny Clark trying to get through in 203. And Danny Clark now hits 515 Junior Wayman out wide, and Wayman's dropped from 2nd to 4th in the space of 1 lap, but he's going to come back at Danny Clark into the West Bend. Robs the 203 car's back bumper, and Danny Clark sent wide. And Junior Wayman comes back through into 3rd place. Jane being forced to put the brakes on as Danny Clark cuts her up for 4th place. And John Lund also right in there in car number 53 as well. But it's Jamie Davison who leads with 5 to run in car number 464. Nigel Wharton second, 422, and Junior Wayman 3rd in 515. Not far behind is Danny Clark, 203 in 4th, and 309 Jane Beam 5th, blocking John Lund's path once again in the 53 car. David Toulson's in 7th in car number 86. And the lead 7 virtually on the East Bend together, and it's Jamie Davidson at the head of the pack in 464, but Nigel Wharton's closing him down in 422. 515 Junior Wayman a little way back in 3rd place, as is Danny Clark, 203 in 4th. But now Nigel Wharton's right with Jamie Davison, 464 and 422 at the head of the pack as we come onto the home straight with 3 to run. And it's Jamie Davison from Altrincham in Chester that's just holding out Nigel Wharton from Shenstone in Staffordshire at the moment, but Wharton's right with him now. He's tapping his back bumper as they come out the West Bend and down towards the East Bend. Nigel Wharton comes in with a big one in 422, and that shoves Davison wide in 464, and Nigel Wharton comes through to lead race 2 for the BriSCA Formula 1 stock cars. And now Junior Wayman 515's right with Jamie Davison, 464 as they go around the West Bend, and Davison loses out once again, and Junior Wayman dives through in 515. 422 and 515 now, the first and second on the charts. Coming around the East Bend, and there's just 1 lap to run now, and Junior Wayman's closing down 422 Nigel Wharton. We head towards the West Bend for the last time, and Nigel Wharton's got a back marker right in front of him. 422 Nigel Wharton at the head of the pack, but Junior Wayman's closing him up in 515. And Junior Wayman's coming in with a big one down towards the East Bend, and Nigel Wharton sent wide in 422, and Junior Wayman's coming through, but he's lost all his power. And Nigel Wharton's going to win race 2 for the BriSCA Formula 1 stock car. Jamie Davison comes through to 2nd. 203 Danny Clark 3rd, and John Lund 4th, and Junior Wayman loses out despite winning out on the last bend shunt. Lost all the drive from that 515 car, and Nigel Wharton was able to come through and win it in car number 422. And the red flags go out on race 2. Ryan, what's wrong with his car?
So they're looking for that green flag. They've got it indeed, and it's Richard Clayton who takes up the lead running number 14. But already Chris Brennan is trying to drive round the outside in this opening lap as they go down on the back straight. And already our red tops have got some action with Ray Witts there and Mark Eaton, and Mark nearly collected his brother there, John Eaton, as they came out of that bend there. So very dramatic action before we even got this race underway. But as we look down on the back straight now, it's 2:05 is your leader, and that's Chris Brennan from Richard Clayton, number 14. So as they complete another lap, it's 2:05 from 14. Then we got 261, 313, 101, 294, 241, 56. But it looks like we've got to go caution because we've lost Chris Brennan into the Armco there. And we've got 2 other cars in there as well. I think one of them could be... And looks like we're going to go red flags, and it'll be a complete restart for this Hot Stocks final. They're looking for the green flag. The starter gives the green flag, and they're underway. And it's Richard Clayton that makes a breakaway there in number 14 going into the first bend there, but chasing him round all the way is Chris Brennan in 2:05. Sutcliffe goes very, very wide indeed. Then we've got 313 topped into 4th place position, 294 in 5th, and 101 Dave Evans in 6th. Was a complete the first lap. It's number 14 from 2:05. Then it's 261 and 313. And already pressuring them as we've lost Ian Stirk 464 into the centre of the track. It's 2:05. Chris Brennan that takes up the lead running from Richard Clayton, but Clayton's not giving up lightly. He's trying to get round on the outside. Don't think he's going to do it because he's got he's just tapping the wall there, and it's now 261 that goes up into second spot, closely followed by 294, but 294 takes to the inside line as 261 goes round very wide indeed coming out of that turn. Then we've got Dave Evans in 103. So already the superstar drivers are coming through the field quite nicely. And we've got all action there mixed up with 161. Mark Eaton goes through into the water splash, so does 244 and 303.
Is he all right, James?
We've got one stuck on the exit of the bend over there. We're just making sure that he's okay because he's on the exit of that bend, and that is going to cause one or two little problems there for the drivers as they know he's there. Well, let's pick up the lead cars. It looks like 205 Chris Brennan goes very, very wide indeed. That's allowed 294 Glenn Sutcliffe to come through into first place position. We've got our very own Dave Evans in third spot in 101. Then we've got 261 in fourth. And it's 241 already coming through into fifth. There is Mark Eaton in 161. 241, 313 goes down. But Dave Evans goes into the Armco and gathers it all up again, but doesn't lose any places. But Mark Eaton looks like he's challenging for that first place position in 161. But it's still 294. Glenn Sutcliffe in the lead there as they go down on the back straight, sporting that yellow top. Then we've got Chris Brennan 205 in second place. Then we've got Mark Eaton in 161 in third. Dave Evans still holds that fourth place in 101. And looks like 475 takes a hefty shunt into the Armco there, but he's okay. That's 475 car being Jason Percy took a right perler into the Armco. But it'll be halfway this time for our leading duo of cars. And it's now 294 is in first place, and he's got 161 Mark Eaton climbing all over the back drawers level as they come underneath the race control, and it's now 161. Mark Eaton goes up into first place position there. Then 294, we got Glenn Sutcliffe go down into second spot. 205, Chris Brennan is still holding station in third there, but looks like Mark Eaton is going in for another heat and final win for the Hot Stocks Formula this afternoon. But looks like nobody's going to touch Glenn Sutcliffe at the moment in 294. But Ray Witts is coming through and he's being pressured, getting the bumper stuck in there from number 61 John Eaton there, and receives attention back as John Eaton goes into the Armco. So that now puts Ray Witts into second place. So it's Mark Eaton out all on his own in 161. John Eaton is stuck in the middle of the track at the moment. He's got the best seat in the house as he watches all the cars come forward to him on that bend there, but he doesn't want to stay in that position. He draws out of it and gets off the racing line. So as the 5-lap board is being readied for our first place car, 161. He's just got 5 laps to roll now. Then we've got 294 Glenn Sutcliffe, and a long way back is Ray Witts in number 1. But it looks like Mark Eaton has stamped his authority all over this race, and he's just got some back markers and 2 negotiators to go down on the back straight. He's now putting a lap down on 250 Keith Chambers there. So as the 3-lap board is being readied, and indeed he receives that 3-lap board for Mark Eaton in 161. Then we've got 294 Glenn Sutcliffe. He goes down a place and he goes down into third. Ray Witts takes over in second spot on that exit of the bend there. And looks like we've lost 463 there, parks up on the green grass there. So the final lap board is now being shown to Mark Eaton in 161. Then a long way back we've got Ray Witts in number 1. And it looks like Glenn Sutcliffe in 294 is in third. But as the checkered flag is now being ready by our starter, taking the winner's trophy there is 161 Mark Eaton coming through into second spot. I think is 294 Glenn Sutcliffe, but we'll check those lap charts for you, and we'll have the full and confirmed results in just a few moments' time. But a very hectic hot stocks final, I think you'll agree.
There goes the green flag on the BriSCA Formula 1 Grand Final. It's Paul Marler once again that leads him into the West Bend, but David Nichols dives through into the lead in car number 242. Paul Farrer gets his back end sideways in 275. That delays Michael Storey in 377. Amongst the red tops it's Danny Clark, 203, that's the first to show at the moment. And it's 242 David Nichols that leads, just putting Paul Minto 512 a lap down. As does 183 Paul Marler in second place, 275 Paul Farrer goes in hard to the West Bend Armco. Spun that 275 car right around. Jane Bean trying to dive through up the inside of Danny Clark, and Junior Wayman trying to hit them both out wide in 515, which he does. Jane Bean trying to block his door, and there's 3 red tops all together on the home straight. Junior Wayman loses out to the other 2, and there's traffic now on the West Bend, and Jane Bean has to take avoiding action, dives around the outside in 309, and that's lost to 4 places. Phil Rogers 116 and 275 Paul Farrer causing the blockage. It's 242 David Nichols that still leads from 183 Paul Marler, 307 Tim Warwick, and 464 Jamie Davidson. Bumpers going in amongst the red tops again, 515 Junior Wayman's trying to shift Danny Clark 203 out of the way, but Clark's not moving. And he still holds the advantage down the back straight, and now John Lund's applying the pressure to Nigel Wharton, 422. Wharton has to lean on Wayne Handley, 378 to stop himself going in the East Bend Arco. But Lund's made up the place. Junior Wayman desperate to pass Danny Clark, 515 goes up the inside of 203. And now Junior Wayman's made that place and pulling away from Danny Clark down the back straight. Nigel Wharton now hammers Danny Clark 203 out of the way. Meantime, Jamie Davidson's gone through to lead in car number 464, and that puts David Nichols back to second in 242. Tim Warwick goes very wide around the West Bend in car number 307, and then rejoins the racing line right in front of Peter Fording, 33. John Lund's suffering from the bumper from 422. Nigel Wharton and Lund just wise in 53, and Wharton makes a place in car number 422. Still Jamie Davison that leads 464. And now it's Junior Wayman through to second in 515, and he's got the task of closing down that flying 464 car driven by Jamie Davison with 247 Andy Webb third, 422 Nigel Wharton, 453 John Lund fifth, and 309 Jane Bean in sixth. Still 464 Jamie Davison, the runaway leader. He's on the East Bend, coming out of turn 4 with Junior Wayman a little way behind in 515, but Junior Wayman certainly closing that 464 car down. 422 Nigel Wharton's now gone through to third. Peter Fording 33 challenging Danny Clark 203, and Fording puts the bumper in as they go into the West Bend. That's a battle down the charts. Danny Clark drifts wide in 203, and Peter Fording goes through in car number 33. Still Jamie Davison that leads in 464, and he will with a halfway stage of the grand final next time around. 515 Junior Wayman desperately trying to make up the ground on 464 Jamie Davison. Jane Bean 309 struggling with John Lund 53. Lund's up the inside of Bean down the back straight. Jane Bean coming in hard with a bumper on John Lund 53, shoves him out wide. Peter Fording is also coming in the action, almost cannoned Andy Webb into the 53 car of John Lund, and now Peter Fording is right behind John Lund as they go down the home straight. No contact around the West Bend, but Fording tracking Lund all the way around this Hednesford Oval. Had to delay slightly there while they dived out with the back marker on the racing line, 307 Tim Warwick. And now Fording once again moving in for the kill on John Lund as we go down to the West Bend. John Lund in turn trying to get out of the way and trying to bumper Jane Bean out of the way in 309. And that's the battle for fourth place on the charts, with Jane Bean pulling over in 309. John Lund might be able to nip through on the inside as they come onto the home straight. And Nudge's been into the Armco, and that cost being another place as Peter Fording dives through in car number 33. Still Jamie Davison that leads in 4.64 on the East Bend, with Junior Wayman second, 5.15, and Nigel Wharton the third in 4.22. Peter Fording desperately trying to get with John Lund around the East Bend. He managed to nudge him and nudge the 53 car wide, but John Lund still holds the advantage for fourth place down the home straight. Jamie Davison 4.64, got a clear track in front of him. 3.77, Michael Storey spun it around on the West Bend. And there's 5 laps to run next time for Jamie Davison 4.64. He's had a couple of second places already today. It looks like he could go one better in the grand final, because Junior Wayman's really having trouble closing flyaway leader down. 4.22, Nigel Wharton still in third. Peter Fording's gone through to fourth in car number 33, and that puts John Lund down to fifth in car number 53, with Jane Bean sixth in 3.09 and Danny Clark seventh in number 2.03. Here's the leader again on the home straight, and now Junior Wayman's really closing him down in 5.15. He's really making the effort with the lap boards out. 3.5 laps to run for our lead car, 4.64 Jamie Davison, but he's certainly being close, hand over fist by Junior Wayman, 5.15, and Junior Wayman closes right up on the East Bend once again. This time it's 3 laps to run for Jamie Davison, 4.64. Into the West Bend they go, and Junior Wayman's getting closer all the time in 5.15. Down the back straight they fly, 4.64, Jamie Davison in the lead. Junior Wayman closes right up under brake, and then Davison shifting wide in 4.64. Junior Wayman's with him as they come onto the home straight, and they clash, and Junior Wayman's right behind Jamie Davison now as they go into the West Bend with under 2 laps to run. Jamie Davison still holds the advantage in 4.64, but this time Junior Wayman's right behind him in 5.15 as they go to the East Bend. And the bumpers go in, and Jamie Davison goes wide, and Junior Wayman's coming through up the inside with 1 lap to run in the BriSCA F1 Stock Cars Grand Final. Junior Wayman goes through the lead on the home straight for the last time. Around the West Bend they go, and Jamie Davison's dropped back in 4.64, and surely is too far behind to do anything about the lead of Frankie Wayman Jr. 5.15. 4.22 Nigel Wharton also a little way behind in third, and Junior Wayman's going to win the grand final in car number 5.15. Very close it was though. Jamie Davison not far behind in 4.64 in second place, and Nigel Wharton third in 4.22. Peter Fording came across the line fourth in 33, and John Lund fifth in 53. Dan Clark sixth in 2.03. I need to keep the cars coming. Jamie Davison unlucky again. Second place finisher for the third time today. This time we go with the Stock Sign Grand National. We go with the Stock Sign Grand National for the BriSCA Formula 1s. 183 Paul Marlow heads the field down the home straight, with Junior Wayman of course trying to make up his lap handicap in 5.15. This time Paul Marlow's got away from David Nichols 2.42, although Nichols is in that second place, and closing on the 183 lead car. Already showing well Jamie Davison 4.64 from his blue top start. 3 second places already today. And he's coming up into the top 5. 3.77 Michael Storey crunches the Armco around the West Bend. 2.75 Paul Farrer also going wide on that bend. And it's 1.83 Paul Marlow, our race leader here on the home straight. Danny Clark, the best of the red tops at the moment, in car number 203 with 3.09 Jane Beam right behind him. 3.93 Michael Smith pays a visit to the Armco on that West Bend. Here's the leader again on the home straight, 1.83 Paul Marlow with 2.42, David Nichols in second, and 4.64 Jamie Davison in third. Davison having trouble passing David Nichols. Certainly had to step on his brakes on the inside line there, drifted out wide just briefly in the 4.64 car. David Nichols trying to come back at him in 2.42. He got close but not close enough around the East Bend. And that altercation that Jamie Davison had with David Nichols has allowed Danny Clark to close slightly. Clark does get past Nichols with a considerable amount of ease on the home straight. Certainly a lot easier to get past than Jamie Davison found it. And Davison's now about to take the lead in 4.64 up the inside of 1.83 Paul Marlow. And here on the home straight, the new leader of the Grand National. Leaders on the back straight, 464 Amy Davison with 203 Dan Clark through to second, 183 Paul Marler still third, but Jane Bean's about to go through to that third place in car number 309. David Tilson's fourth in 86 if he can get past Paul Marler on the home straight, which he does as they go towards the West Bend. John Lund 53 desperately trying to avoid the attentions of 422 Nigel Wharton as 275 Paul Farrer spins away and joins 116 Phil Rogers up there on the West Bend, has already spun out. 422 Nigel Wharton forces his way past 53 John Lund at the halfway stage of the Grand National event, and it is halfway next time round with 464 Jamie Davison leading, Danny Clark 203 second. Paul Bullock 15 spins out spectacularly here on the home straight and rejoins as the race leader comes by. 464 Jamie Davison, 203 Dan Clark still second, Jane Bean third, 309 David Tilson fourth, 86 422 Nigel Wharton in fifth, and 53 John Lund sixth, 183 Paul Marler seventh, and 515 Junior Wayman already up into the top 8 for his lap handicap. And don't forget he's on double points and double prize money. Cars well spread around the raceway with Nigel Wharton 422 trying to get with David Tilson 86. That's the battle for fourth. Tilson closing also on Jane Bean 309. 5 laps to run next time in the last race of the 1992 season here at Hednesford Raceway. Can Jamie Davison finally land that race win that he's come so close to on 3 occasions already today in car number 464? He's coming off turn 4 and he's looking at the 5 laps to run board. 464 Jamie Davison from Altrincham in Cheshire with 203 Dan Clark desperately trying to get with him in second place. 309 Jane Bean's in third, but David Tilson's right with her in car number 86 as they go around the West Bend. Nigel Wharton also in the action there in 422. And that's the battle for third place on the charts. 309 Jane Bean currently in third, but David Tilson's right behind her in number 86 as Dave Nichols 242 retires to the infield, right across the racing line just briefly. David Tilson leans on Jane Bean, 86 leaning on 309 around the West Bend, but Jane Bean holds it and still holds that third spot. Now Nigel Wharton's coming in with the bumper, he's trying to take David Tilson out wide, which he does, and now Nigel Wharton's gone through into fourth, and he's looking at Jane Bean in his sights down the home straight. This is the battle for third place. Nigel Wharton bumpers Jane Bean into the West Bend. Bean sits wide and Wharton's trying to come through on the inside down the back straight, but Bean shuts him out in 309. Still holds third place. David Tilson trying to get back in the action in 86, and he bumpers Nigel Wharton out wide, but Wharton holds it and still holds that fourth place, and Jane Bean pulls away slightly in third in car number 309. Still 464 Jamie Davison that leads, and he's still as much gap between him and second place Danny Clark as there was a few laps ago. They're going on to the last lap. Can Nigel Wharton 422 get close enough to shift Jane Bean out of the way in 309 on the last lap? With 86 David Tilson hoping they both make a mistake and he can get up a couple of places. Looks like 464 Jamie Davison's finally going to take that race win. He's coming off the East Bend with a checker flag being prepared. Meanwhile the battle for third down the back straight. Nigel Wharton closes right up on Jane Bean 309, but he's not going to pass her. Jane Bean's going to take third place in 309, Nigel Wharton fourth, 422, and David Tilson fifth in 86, but the winner was 464 Jamie Davison with Danny Clark second in 203. Looks like Junior Wayman may well have fought his way up into the top 6 places, and the red flags go out on the last race of the year at Hednesford Raceway for the Formula Ones, and that was won by 464 Jamie Davison.